The body of Khayalethu Magadla is finally home in Dlamini, Soweto. The 6-year-old was found 3 weeks after falling into a manhole. Today, members of the community accompanied his family to the manhole to complete rituals. The family will now be travelling to the Eastern Cape for his funeral. eNCA's Heidi Giokos is in Soweto and joins me live. Heidi Giokos, it's a very difficult day, understandably, for the family. Some sense of closure that those rituals at that manhole have now been completed. What are you hearing on the scene?
Yes, indeed, Annalie, it's a very sad moment here in Soweto, Dlamini. We do know that the body of Khayalethu Magadla has arrived at the home of the Magadla family, and soon after they will be heading to the Eastern Cape, where we do know that he will be laid to rest tomorrow. Very emotional scenes. We saw how the Magadla family went to the actual manhole where Khayalethu fell in and sadly lost his life. Open manhole. We still don't understand how that manhole was left open. We know it's been open for over 2 years, had been reported multiple times, and Khayalethu had been playing with 2 of these other friends in the area when this tragically happened. I'm going to ask my colleague Deboko Marcelo to just show you huge support coming out from the community, family, friends and neighbours, as well as Soweto Parliament, just showing their support for the family, and of course practicing those traditions that need to be practiced. We do know that there was a prayer service, traditions happening at the actual manhole where Khayalethu fell. So the body is now outside the home. We do know that according to traditions, if there was an accident or a tragedy of this kind of nature, the body does not go inside the house, or the body does not sleep in the actual house. It's considered as almost a bad omen, and this is why the body is now outside. Teboko is currently showing you the body of Khayalethu Magadla outside the home, and you can actually see the father is also present. We do know that the mother of Khayalethu has already left for the Eastern Cape, but they will be leaving in a couple of hours. I'm wondering if my colleague can show you, there's actually a little motorbike just under by the photos of Khayalethu, and apparently he loved motorbikes, and he absolutely loved Spider-Man as well. You have this massive motorbike entourage that will be accompanying the family halfway to the Eastern Cape.
Such incredible support for this family during this time from the community and friends, as you've said. Heidi, on another note, this community is having to live with this manhole that you've said has been open for 2 years. Do we know whether the officials in the area have done anything about that in the interim, whether that has since been closed to safeguard children still playing undoubtedly in this community?
Yes, so we do know that the manhole has been closed off at this stage. What we also know is that the manhole was actually cemented off. You know, Annalie, I've been a journalist for over almost 10 years, and I have never seen such tragedy. It's just unacceptable that something like this could have happened. And what we know is that the manhole had been open for 2 years, and there were actually planks that were covering the manhole. But it seems as though the 2 friends that were with Khayalethu Magadla managed to jump over the manhole, and when Khayalethu tried to jump over, the plank had basically broken, and this is how he had fallen into the manhole. It's unacceptable that something like this could have happened, because if you look at where this park is and where the manhole is, it's a park. It's a couple of meters away from the actual house of Khayalethu, and this is why people are saying it's not like it was in a faraway area or in an open field where children should have not been playing. This is a park that was built or provided to the community for these children to play. Why was it open? Why was it not cornered off? This is highly problematic, and the mayor, the city of Joburg Mayor Mpopalat, is saying they're going to try and deal with this. The NMC for Infrastructure and Environment indicating that They are trying to deal with as many manholes as possible to try and close it up. But many would say it's a little too late. And I'm sure the Magadla family feel exactly the same way, that this is too late. Why was this not covered up? Children are playing in the park. And now Khayalethu Magadla had to sadly fall into that hole, and he tragically lost his life. So the community, of course, not happy and completely angered by all of this.
Heidi, South Africans feel like they've walked much of this journey, not only with the family, but with the community as well. From the initial reports that Khayalethu Magadla was missing through 3 weeks of searching for his body, daily updates from Johannesburg Emergency Medical Services personnel, the anguish of not finding his body, within a certain period of time, and then it becoming apparent that there was absolutely no hope that he would still possibly be alive. Many South Africans still, praying with the family after his body had been found, wishing them well in some sense of closure. What are community members saying now that we've reached this point in this journey where Khayalethu Magadla is now going to be laid to rest?
The community is completely distraught. Annelie, you had community members looking on, coming outside the house, watching how the body had arrived from the funeral parlor all the way to the house. Completely devastating. I mean, you had children even looking on and looking in complete disbelief, because that could have been one of them. It's just unfortunate that Khayalethu had been playing in the area, and he sadly was the one that fell in. But community members, I think, are really angered, Annelie, and it just speaks to the overall community safety issues within these areas, and how these communities have felt neglected time and time again, how they have felt neglected and not considered, how a simple manhole, Annelie, let's just put this into perspective, a manhole had not had a cover for over 2 years, and nothing had been done about it. It had been reported time and time again, and still nothing had been done about it. So community members are really angry. There always has to be some kind of tragedy or death before communities are heard, or before anything is actually done about it. So I think community members are not happy about this. We know that activists in the area, ward councillors, for example, also Soweto Parliament, that try on a daily basis to be active and present and try to provide solutions to communities. But at the end of the day, this is an indictment on the city of Joburg to say, what have you done about these manholes? Why can't children be playing safely in parks? And why did Khayalethu Magadla have to sadly lose his life for manholes to be covered up? Why was this not covered up in the first place? Why was it not taken seriously? So the community members are completely distraught. People have been crying and sobbing. Children have been looking on thinking, what is going on here? And it's only understandable, because the story is just truly so tragic.